What's going on, my name is Eason. Welcome back to another video. And today, we're going to be getting into topic 3.8 and 3.9 for AP Comparative Government and Politics, which is an introduction to the political and social cleavages of our countries and their effects. Now, we've been wrapping up Unit 3 in this video, which is going to be basically the role of people in society and how the government influences the people. So we've learned about civil society, political behavior, political participation, voting behavior, and all of that really cool and awesome stuff. Now, let's end it off with social and political cleavages, which can be described as internal divisions that structure societies, maybe based on class, ethnicity, religion, or territory. And also look at some examples if you're still confused. And they're basically social factors dividing people in a country for some clearing out. In China, ethnic and regional differences between the majority Han ethnic group and at least 55 recognized ethnic minorities, such as the Uyghurs in the northwest and Tibetans in the southwest, and between areas had developed at different rates. In Iran, religious divisions between the Shia Muslim majority and members of other religions, such as Christianity, Judaism, and Zoroastrianism, have resulted in a threatening atmosphere, despite official recognition by the government of Iran. Within practitioners of Islam, there are divisions between Shia majority and those who are Sunni, and these are basically denominations of Islam. They aren't exactly the same thing. Now, there are also ethnic cleavages between the majority Persians and several ethnic minorities, including the Kurds. Now, let's look at these Kurdish people a little bit more. There are actually over 4 different states, not just in Iran, and they kind of want their own state and to be sovereign. And they actually have had a good voice in government in Iran and have had land reforms for their population. Now, there has been some tensions between the Kurdish people and the Iranian military. In Mexico, ethnic divisions between the Amerindian, indigenous population, and whites and mestizos, and regional differences between the north and south exist. Now, in the north and south, we see a lot more economic differences because the north is more developed than the south, and we see more conservative policies in the north and political parties in the north, and all that fun stuff. In Nigeria, ethnic divisions between more than 250 ethnic groups and religious and regional cleavages between the north and the south have existed. The north, we see the Muslim people majority, and in the south, we see a Christianity majority. Nigeria also has a lot of ethnic groups due to its history, especially being colonized as a state by Britain back in the day, bringing in lots of settlers from Europe. In Russia, cleavages between ethnic Russians, who are more than 80% of the population and tend to be Russian Orthodox, and minority non-Russian populations, including the Chechens in the Caucasus region, who are predominantly Muslim. We have talked about them a lot in our past, and there are interactions which have included violence and warfare. In the United Kingdom, ethnic and regional differences exist, like between nations such as Scottish, English, Welsh, and Irish. Now, religious differences also exist between Protestants and Catholics in Northern Ireland, and racial tensions between whites and non-European minorities whose heritage is related to United Kingdom's colonial history. Major social and political cleavages differ across our core countries, and they affect actually voting behavior and party systems, as well as informal political networks. In the United Kingdom, the Brexit Party was seen as anti-immigrant because they thought it threatened the United Kingdom's society and culture. In Iran, Russia, China, the United Kingdom, and Nigeria, we see the emergence of separatist movements. And separatist movements are an advocacy for the separation of one group from another. Now, other groups demanding autonomy but not independence have also emerged in Mexico and the United Kingdom. Now, there are also some challenges governments face in securing stability in multinational states like the United Kingdom. And these include conflicting interests and competition among groups and political parties, a perceived lack of governmental authority and legitimacy, a pressure for autonomy, secession, intergroup conflict, terrorism, and civil war, and encroachment on neighboring states that sense government weakness and vulnerability. Course countries have responded differently to social cleavages and their political consequences. In Iran, we see the recognition of people who aren't Islam, and they can be part of the legislative branch, but their rights often remain unclear, and in some religions, like Sunni Islam, these aren't really addressed in the constitution. In the United Kingdom, the autonomy pressures have led to devolution of rights in certain regions, like Scotland. In Russia and Nigeria, we see military action and violence against certain groups, like Boko Haram. In Nigeria, however, its constitution allows for ethnic and religious differences. In China, the Chinese people don't really give autonomy to the Tibetan people and all the other minorities, and they commonly send them to re-education camps to try to assimilate them into the Chinese culture and society, with further education also on communism and Chinese culture. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. You won't believe how many takes it took for me to actually record this. I guess I'm just dying or something. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Subscribe and like the video. It really does help me out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.